Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have been blessed and being safe. So welcome to my newbies. Welcome back to my faithful followers. So as you will tell in my other video, I have ventured off into paper crafts. So this right here is a gnome. I was about to call him an elf. A gnome money holder. I got this one from SVG Ocean. So I made this one just to make sure I knew what in the world I was doing before I did the video. Because y'all know how it is every time you go live. Anything that could possibly go wrong does. So anyway, this was, I got this from SVG Ocean. I got all of my paper from Hobby Lobby. And I am going to use my Elaine's tacky glue. I probably will later on get like one of the little handy dandy fancy wancy little glue bottles with the real small precision tip nozzle, just so I can get into the smaller places, but I'm still experimenting for right now, so this is what we got. One thing I will say, all papers are not created equal. One thing I noticed about this pink paper, when I cut it, it's like it wanted to kind of tear a little bit, so some of the edges are not crisp and sharp. A tip to you, so I make all the mistakes so y'all don't have to. Whenever you're using paper, of course you're going to always test cut. What's working best for me is to cut it twice. So after you get a good cut on your blade, I think I had mine on like 3 or 4, but the blade I got is kind of old, so you know that could be that. And then especially with this textured paper, yeah, that was a whole another story. And this glitter paper gave this white glitter paper, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, it gave me a run for my money. If you can look at these edges are not as crisp as they would like, as I would like. So yeah, practice. And that's why I like the fact that you can get a sheet of paper from Hobby Lobby versus, you know, buying a whole pack. So just in case if you find out paper crafts is not your thing, then you know it's okay. You hadn't wasted much money. So I got this one here as kind of like a guide to know how to assemble all the pieces, because again, I'm not saying it didn't come with instructions. Either I didn't print them or I didn't pay attention. But it's kind of self-explanatory. So again, whenever you're using your cardstock, cut twice. Just set your machine, I don't know how Cricut does, but I got a Silhouette Cameo. You can set it to cut twice. That way you're for sure getting a good clean cut when you're cutting these out. So the first layer that I'm going to put down is this red. The red goes down first, and then the next goes the pink. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this guy around and just go around the edges. This is like a, 4-layer image. And just like I said, eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to get one of those really super cool bottles of craft glue that has a real small thin nozzle, so you can get, you know, in those little small tight places. It doesn't take a lot of glue, because I've noticed once you use a whole lot of glue, it starts to seep out. Once it seeps out, it's a mess. So, you know, just a little bit. I hadn't gotten to the point where I'm using all these 6 and 7 layer crafts yet. So a little goes a long way. So we're going to turn this guy over and match it up. Match it up with this red one. Something else I had to do too, and just like I said, whenever you're trying to do something on recording a video, it doesn't want to go right. There we are. I had to bring this down a little bit. Oh, it's just not working for me. That's one of the things of crafting, y'all. You practice. What is it? Practice makes perfect. All right. So getting it lined up is the trick. So I had to shrink them because you see the difference. This one was just so big. These holes are just way too big. So now the glitter piece, and I wanted to use this glitter. I like glitter. I bought this glitter cardstock from Walmart a while back. I was actually using it to make notebooks with. I don't even know if I recorded a video of myself doing that. But you can actually sublimate on this glitter cardstock that you get from Walmart. You're actually able to print on it too. It's printable cardstock. Printable cardstock that you get from Walmart. Now, don't put the glue on these little bitty flaps because they bend up. But it's printable cardstock that you get from Walmart. And so I was buying this and I was sublimating on it to make spiral notebooks with. I have to go back and check because I don't even know if I did a video for that or not. Yeah, sublimation is just like so amazing. You can do so much. But yeah, so I was like, well, since I found out that you can sublimate on those Dollar Tree glitter notebooks, then I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to use this paper for something else. So I kept it. We all know as crafters, we don't throw away anything. Uh-oh. Trying to stay in focus. I got my little cameraman with me. My Noe. He's trying to make sure I don't get out of focus. So y'all can see right here, this paper, oh my goodness, was, oh, I didn't put enough glue on the edges. This, am I in focus?
It's just too much glue.
Oh yeah. Give me a piece of paper towel. So yeah, I try to keep everything, and so I was like, well, why not keep this paper and use it again for something else? So here's that. I'm sorry, y'all. And so you see how much smaller it is, because this is where you have to roll the dollar up. This pink paper gave me a headache. If you can see, it tore while I was cutting it. I feel like the side that I stuck to my mat was like smoother. And so it's like I didn't know if they have like a right side and a wrong side, if that makes sense. But even with the other gnome that I did, when I used the pink paper, that paper was just, it was not cutting smoothly. So I feel like this paper may have a right side and a wrong side. If that's the case, you want to cut it to where your smooth side is facing up. That way it'll get a cleaner cut. So, but again, as I said, you know, we live and we learn. So, wow, that one went down almost perfect. And so because there's so many layers, it gives it a little bit of dimension and depth. And I know some people, when they do their paper craft, they'll use the, whatever those dot things are, to kind of give it a little bit more depth. All right, so now we got his little bitty nose. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here. And I'll put his nose on. I don't know what I did with my tweezers. So here's his little nosy. So there's his nose and his hands. I lost I lost a piece of his hand because it's just so small. It's just teeny. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm probably gonna end up picking it up with my weeding tool. Like it's so small, y'all. And it goes like right here. I got it upside down. And it's so small. You know, when I did the first one, I was like, why in the world would, like, why would somebody make something this small? Like, who in the world is really going to pay attention to his hands? Like, whatever. So I'm going to put a little piece of glue right here. And I just made a mess. And I'm going to try to flip his hand back over. Y'all, I had everything together. I don't know what I did with my tweezers. But that's one part of his hand. And, like, who is really... who's going to notice that? Like, nobody. And then here's the other part of his hand. And it goes right here. Let me put the glue down, because this is the thing. When you're working with little bitty small pieces, let me turn this around and maybe I can catch it right here. I hope I'm still in focus. Okay. So there's the other part of his hand. And his other hand goes right here, but it was so small. I tried to put everything on this little sheet of paper so I wouldn't lose it, but pfft, you already know how it is. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to try to get my X-Acto knife and just come around here and clean this up a little bit, because that just looks so bad. Okay, so just like I said, learn from my mistakes. When you are using this paper, cut twice. If you can program your machine, let me go ahead and roll this up while I'm talking. Program your machine to do 2 cuts. That way you'll get a cleaner cut. And that way your paper will lift easier. But you gotta, you know, you have to do a test cut. When it comes to any new material. I know Silhouette has their own pre-program settings, but that stuff never works for me. So I always do a test cut. So here it is. Let me bring it into focus. I had to sit down, but now I can stand up. I can't grab it. So here it is. That's so cute. So you can see the glitter of the beard, and it's just, I was able to roll the $20 bill in there. So you can see the difference between the first one that I cut and the smaller one. You see the difference in size. This is, when it came in to Silhouette, I brought it in and cut it just like that. I didn't reshape it or resize it or anything. But if you can look and see how big these holes are, I was like, oh my goodness. Then I had to get another shade of brown because this brown is so dark. But hey, there's that. So this is the size that it comes in. And I just, kind of shrunk it until it looked right to me. I didn't know how to measure it. But I think even though the glitter was a hassle, it turned out really cute. So yeah, got the SVG from SVG Ocean. Got my paper from Hobby Lobby. my glue from the Dollar Tree, and I got my 20 from the bank. So this is a Gnome Valentine's Day money holder. So this is a cute little thing you want to give to your kids or somebody like that. Anyway, thank you guys for all of your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the love. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. After you do, hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a video again. Share this video if you found it helpful. Leave me a comment in the comment section if you just want to say, hey, I'm going to try to find the other piece of his hand. But if I can't, you know, like who's going? I mean, I'll know it's there, but nobody else will. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Like I always say, do whatever makes you happy. And for me, that's crafting. Bye now.